You're listening to a Platforms podcast, your source for cutting-edge, relevant Torah. Enjoy.
I'm just going to give some practical advice that the Mesilas Yesharim brings, who's very, very practical throughout the whole Mesilas Yesharim. If anybody hasn't read it, I would highly, highly recommend, especially during these days, to give it a quick gloss. Well, probably not quick, but to read through. So he says, look, he uses his lashon at the beginning of his sefer in describing the heroes. He uses, this intensely strong lashon of describing one of the main tactics of the Yetzer Hara and one of the main solutions. And I think it's very applicable for what we've just described. And in general, like I don't recall him using this kind of strong language anywhere else in the book to this degree. So, like this. Ve'ulam hinei zot be'emet. This thing is one of the strategies that the Yetzer Hara employs. He, I obviously just cut glosses of Mesilas Yesharim to bring out this idea, but basically he's talking about how we're always overloaded with the things that are happening around us, and so it's a strategy that the Yetzer Hara employs for us to forget about the big picture. So that we shouldn't have any time, any space left to contemplate about the big picture. Or to see, what ultimate path am I walking on? Of course, the Yetzer Hara knows that the moment that you would pay the slightest bit of attention to what you're doing, you would immediately run away from the stuff that you're doing. And everything that you're doing would immediately be abandoned legamri. And we see this tactic of increasing the workload, increasing the details of day-to-day life to have you forget about the big picture, embodied in Paro himself. When Moshe, the context of this is that when Moshe and Aaron come for the first time to Paro, and they say, for the first time, the famous, let my people go, Paro says, first mocks his God, and basically ends up saying, what did you say just now? It literally sounds like you guys have way too much time on your hands to start thinking about these great plans for Geula, these massive visions for Yetzias Mitzrayim, for Chag Bamidbar. What the heck are you guys talking about? So what is his response? Up the workload. So clearly he saw that what was missing was more workload. Contemplating big picture, how am I attacking that? Up the workload. Literally the Yetzer Hara embodied. Constantly flooding them with this level of detail that doesn't allow them to think about the big picture. Very quickly, this is a concept that in computer science is called distributed denial of service, which is, if you wanna, you can try it, but you're not going to be successful. But let's assume that you, for Google, for example, let's say you wanted to take down Google's website or Facebook. Previously, that was their pride, no downtime. Let's say that back in the day, you really wanted to show them. So what do? You grab a bunch of computers and you issue requests to their web servers. The web servers are the things responding to your request. Hey, can I see Facebook.com? Hey, can I see Facebook.com? Now, you can write a program, a piece of software that will automate that to do that thousands of times a minute on your own computer and distribute that to multiple computers. And what this will do, the flooding of this request to the server will basically make it unable to distinguish between legitimate requests, which is from Jackie, and me, who's, distributing all my software across all these computers trying to take down Facebook. The Facebook server doesn't know who's real, who's not real, who's authentic, who's not authentic. And as a measure of this working, you'll see the Facebook server for Jackie take longer and longer and longer to respond, till eventually the page is going to stop loading, and then you have probably a 500 error code, and that's it, man. You made it. You made it big. Okay. And you have this, this is a famous psychology problem, which is the cocktail party problem, which is you're flooded in a cocktail party. Imagine all of the stimuli that's going around you, music, chatter, bottles clanking together, all this stimulus. And then at the same time, you're able to focus on another person. It's a crazy feature of our attentions that we're able to direct it and literally tune out everything else. But because our brains are highly capable of pattern recognition to recognize Jackie's voice, frequency, tone, etc., and tune out everything else, the Google servers now are increasingly more sophisticated and able to detect one of these attacks and but that's basically what the Yetzer Hara is doing. The Yetzer Hara is giving us a DDoS attack, which is what? Distributed denial of service. Every round you request, attention. What do we think? So what do we do, man? We work the whole day, we learn the whole day, and then we're like, after like months of learning the whole day, we're like, oh God. Oh, okay. HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Oh, okay. Oh, that's what I'm learning for. Oh, okay. There's connection, vekus. Oh, okay. After months of learning, you're doing that every single day. But you're bombarded by this Masechta. I'm going to do this Rambam. I'm going to finish, Mishnah Berurah, Yomi, Chumash, Nach, everything. Boom, 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 boom. Resources, relationships, work things, gym, shower, eating. You waste your whole life on that. Those things are important. But you forgot about the big picture. Why are you doing all of that? What is it all for? Come on, man. Don't let the DDoS attack work on you. That's what the Yetzer Hara does. That is the number one tactic. The number one solution that he presents. A person is obligated to be medaktik and to measure out all of his ways every single day. Like, these great businessmen that have the accounting, a perfect P&L chart for all perfect balance sheets kept to the T, calibrated every single day for exactly every last penny that they lost or that they gained. You don't understand how productive this is. Set a time to do this every single day. 15 minutes. That's all that it takes. You're telling me that you spend the 16 hours, 18 hours of your waking time bombarded DDoS by these details, responding to them, and you're not going to take the 15 minutes for the meta frame, for the frame that literally encapsulates all of those details, that is what you're doing everything for? You remember that you're alive, dude? Remember, this is a short period of life. It's finite. It ends. We have opportunities in front of us. They're not infinite. We have limited amount of time, and and all of these details are meant to serve something larger, are meant to be incorporated into this larger frame. That's all the amazing demand of Malchus of these days. What is Malchus? The acceptance of Kabbalah's Ol Malchus Shemayim. If not the fact that you're participating in this massive enterprise, way larger than you could ever imagine, that you're attaching yourself to that which transcends everything that dies, that imbues everything with this amazing life, with this amazing force of existence, that is packed with love, unlimited, unbounded, infinite potential for dveikus, with the Shechina, with everything that matters. All of that is sitting there dormant, lying in potential, and we let ourselves be bombarded. It's crazy. What is Malchus if not accepting that Kabbalah's Ol? It's not accepting that we're attached to this larger frame and keeping this larger frame with us throughout these days, and having all of those details serve as the pixels for this larger image for which we have a frame that we're directed towards. So, Cheshbon Nefesh, really, really important. And he says that this is not just defining what your actions are doing, but have a mental map of what we want to do, where we want to go, where are we headed, what is it all for. Have a mental map every single day. Measure your actions that you did according to that. 15 minutes. Cheshbon Nefesh. Bikvius. V'hu ma she'omru Zichron Levrocha. This is what Chazal say in the Gemara. Al kein yomru hamoshlim bo cheshbon. That the Gemara, the pasuk says, Al kein yomru hamoshlim bo cheshbon. And so the rulers, the masters, say, let's come to cheshbon. Look at how the Gemara darshans this amazing pasuk. Al kein yomru, rulers of what? Al kein yomru hamoshlim beyitzram. The rulers, the people that have reigned supreme over their Yetzer. This is the advice that they give. You want to ask these amazing human beings, Tzadikim Gemurin, like the Gemara says, Tzadikim Yetzer Hatov Shoftan. these people that have dominated over their Yetzer, that have reigned supreme over them, this is what they say, Bo unechashev cheshbono shel am, come and make an accounting of your life. Hefsed mitzvah keneged sechara, uschar avera keneged hefseda. Ki ha'etza ha'amitis hazos lo yuchal losis osav lo liros amita ela osam shekvar yotzu mitachas yad yitzram umoshul bo. Ki mi shehu adayin chavush b'maser yitzro en einov ro'os ha'emes hazos ve'eno yachol la'kira. כי היצר מסמה אס עיניו ממש, והנה הוא כהולך בחושך שיש לפניו מכשלוש, ואין עיניו ראות עושם. I mean, you think, okay, you need the moshlim beyitzram to tell you the advice of like, dude, pay attention to your life. You need that to say? But it's amazing because how he explores this idea, he basically says, he gives an analogy of being in a maze. And that when you're in the maze, all paths look equally viable. But when you're standing from the outside looking in, you can clearly see, no, this road is going to lead you the wrong way. This road is going to lead you the right way. That is literally what, so far as we're dominated by the Yetzer Hara, it's the generator of our thoughts. It's the generator of our perceptions. That's why it's literally, you're a blind man. You think that you're seeing. The sight is being processed and interpreted by your Yetzer Hara. You're not seeing what's true. So you think it's an obvious thing to say that accounting is the most important thing in your life. You could have never said that. Because you could tell me a million other things that look to be just as sound and reasonable as that. And it's like the pathways of the maze that lead you astray, even though they all look just as good as that first one. Okay. Now I'll end with this. Anybody who measures out his roads in this world is zoche to see the Yeshua of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Even if a person watches over himself, if not for the fact that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is there to help you, you would not be able to dominate your Yetzer Hara. Ki Yetzer Hara takif me'od, u'chimamar ha'kosov, tzofei rosh l'tzadik mevakesh lamiso, Hashem lo ya'azvenu. Ve'achim adam mefakech al atzmo, that even if a person watches over himself, as HaKadosh Baruch Hu ozro v'nitzol min ha'Yetzer Hara, that if a person is willing to watch over themselves, then HaKadosh Baruch Hu is going to be right there waiting to help. Aval im eino mefakech al atzmo, but if you're not watching over yourself, Vadai HaKadosh Baruch Hu lo yefakech alav, for sure HaKadosh Baruch Hu won't be watching over you. Ki im hu eino chas mi achus lav, because if you don't care for yourself, who should care for you? And just an amazing way of presenting that idea. HaKadosh Baruch Hu cares only if you care. HaKadosh Baruch Hu can't care for you. As a function of your caring, He can assist you, but it has to come from you. It has to be sourced in you. And if you don't care, how can HaKadosh Baruch Hu care for you? Anybody that doesn't have this larger awareness, it's usher to have mercy on them. If not me for myself, then who will be for me? You know? So just an unbelievable reminder of the call for attention in these days. If there's one thing that the Ramchal seems to recommend to us, that, if we're trying to do the extra push, it's the Cheshbon Nefesh. Let's do, 15 minutes, carve out just these Asari Teshuva. So with that, may we be zoche to these amazing Asari Teshuva. May we internalize them, as a call for responsiveness, a call for more care than the usual, a little bit more consistency, and may we zoche to a chasima, l'chaya olam haba, and l'chaya olam hazeh.
This has been a Platforms podcast. Please share it with your friends. If you can think of one person to send it to, please take the time. It truly is the best way to help us out. If you have any comments or suggestions, please go and email platformspodcast@gmail.com. We would love to hear from you.